people who are powerful, like effective people, don't react. They don't live their life reacting to stuff.
Right.
They take action,
Right. They're proactive.
They're proactive. I believe that's the word that Stephen Covey uses.
Right.
By contrast, people that are stuck, people that are on the treadmill, people that are kind of paralyzed into inaction are people that react.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your dream board from last week because you did your homework.
We did our writing.
Right, and you have done that. So I would say the first step is to read that dream board over and experience the emotions. Because as I said before, thoughts, what you think about, leads to how you feel. That's well documented, by the way,
right.
and by the behavioral therapists and all that.
Right.
So what you think about dictates how you feel, and how you feel empowers your actions.
And this is the core, and we've done different episodes on just that subject alone, but that's the core of why people can't behave well in their divorce. Because what's in their head is constant, ruminating about their ex,
right.
which makes them constantly have these negative feelings, or wanting to get back at them, or wanting to make them
right.
pay, or wanting them to disappear off the face of the earth, or whatever your feeling is about it. And then we go to the actions and we say, gee, why isn't this party able to behave well?
Why aren't I getting what I want?
Right. Why does the court, not understand what I'm trying to tell them? Why are they not clear? Why doesn't my attorney get it? Why doesn't,
right.
Because you're stuck with your mindset in that negative space. And so really, to be able to behave well, the first thing you have to do is to turn your thoughts from the negative to the positive, which is, right. I think, where you're going to start here.
So we're going to pull out our dream sheet, and we're going to take the things that are on the list. Let's take home.
Okay.
Well,
of our 6 categories.
Right. Now, we got to break this down into some definable goals.
Right.
Now, there are certain things you can do in your home that will have an immediate effect.
Right.
One of them is to throw away all your stuff. I always say,
I think you need to take your own advice on that one.
I'm bad with hanging them. I might use that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not great, but I'm not as bad as you. So I'm somewhere in the middle.
So there are some things. So you might say, my goal is to by March 31st to have thrown out everything that I don't need in the living room, or give it to charity or something. Get rid of. Or if money is the issue, so the question is, well, where does money come from? So in the short term, you may be receiving support.
Right.
But in the long term, support is dependent on this person who is flesh and blood and not guaranteed to be around forever.
Right.
So to empower yourself financially, you may decide, well, one of my goals is to do a budget this week.
Right.
And figure out what I call it my nut. And figure out what you need just to pay your expenses.
Right.
And then what do you need to accomplish some of your other goals.
Right.
And then give yourself an attainable but big enough monetary goal that it will inspire you to get your butt out of the bed and onto what you do. So what are the things that you need to do to get that money? What gets measured gets improved.
Right.
And that's true. So if your goal is getting to a certain size, you might want to get a tape measure and take your measurements, and then take them not every day. because
that can be just discouraging.
that can just be discouraging. But maybe every 2 weeks, take your measurements again and write down what your progress is. And if you're not making progress, then you need to change something.
Your goals are obviously specific to you, and that's what makes them relevant. And so if you go out here and you just have some arbitrary goal and you just say, oh, Thomas and Tammy said their goal is $1 million this year, I'm going to put that down for me, that won't work, because I can't tell you what your goal should be. And the last part of the SMART goal is it has to be time bound.
Right. So it's a good idea to give yourself a deadline.
Well, because if you don't have a deadline, you can't measure it. If we just say we want to make $1 million a year, like it could take 5-10 years, we're still working towards that goal, right? Taking action is just, it will do so much for you. Number one, action is the main anxiety reducer. So, just taking action on something will help you start to get some momentum.
Right.
In your life. And maybe it's as simple as starting with your physical fitness or starting with cleaning out the closet or whatever it is.
Take action, and you can do it. Sometimes I look at my list of things to do, and I think I just can't do that. But the answer is yes, I can.
Right.
Yes, you can do it. And the discipline is there. If you review your dream sheet and realize that these tasks are little itty-bitty steps on the way to happiness.
Right. So if you get bogged down and you start struggling with it, you go back to your why.
Correct.
Why are you doing this? Because that's what refuels your fire.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.